Welcome back, guys. How's it going? Today we're going to be talking about 5 games that I only recently played for the first time on the PlayStation 3. As you know, I'm currently collecting PlayStation 3 games, and as a part of Project Rebuild 2022, I'm rebuilding my PlayStation 3 collection to a nice healthy level. And there's a lot of games to go yet, but if you haven't already seen my pickups and my channel's new to you, please click on my channel, check out those videos, or just click my name in the title of this video. So guys, yeah, I've got 5 games to show you, and let's just crack on. So first up, I've spoken about this before, but I thought I'd just include it in this stack of games, and that is Rogue Warrior, which is a third-person cover shooter. Got a bit of a cartoon art style to it. It's very dumb, very simple, a lot of swearing, a little bit childish, but kind of funny at the same time. And yeah, it's an action game. You're just running through rooms, shooting people, wave after wave. Occasionally you do something different, like drop bombs or set bombs, or you'll climb a ladder. Nothing exciting. The story's pretty much pointless. I don't care. Don't care about the characters. It's just a great game that feels like the last gen with slightly nicer graphics. And it's just a bit of fun. You're just running through rooms, shooting everyone in the face. So you can't really go wrong, can you? No, I really enjoyed it. It's really fun. And it surprised me because I'd never heard of the game. So I picked it up on a whim. Turned out to be a bit of a gem, so I definitely recommend playing it if you haven't. If you just want something simple and fun, and you're not looking for too in-depth, Rogue Warrior is a good one. Next is a game that I picked up because my good friend Alex BlueTonic78 has been telling me to play this for years, and I've never gotten to it. And I remember playing the demo back in the day, and I thought the demo was terrible, so I never bought the game. Well, that was a mistake, because I played it recently, and it is Turning Point Fall of Liberty. It's a World War II first-person shooter, and it's actually pretty damn good. So the idea is that Winston Churchill, in the real world, Winston Churchill got hit by a taxi in New York just before World War II. But obviously he survived and got us through World War II. In this game, he doesn't survive and the Germans take over and you've got to fight back against the Germans. It's really, really fun. I was really surprised by this game. The demo, from what I can remember, was the first stage where you're on top of this scaffolding and you have to make your way down to the street level. Overall, I think it's a really competent first-person shooter, and World War II game is fantastic. But I think the guns, the aiming in that isn't that great. I found that I had to use aim assist, which I never use, but I felt like it just made the game easier. And if you don't iron sight as well, you just free aim, tends to make it a lot easier to get through the game. But as I got through it, I was really surprised how much I was enjoying it. I was having a lot of fun with this game. There's a level I got to where you're going across rooftops and you end up inside buildings, and that's some of my favourite first-person shooter style to do as well. I love going room to room, just blasting and having enemies pop out of doorways and freaking you out, and you have to just go mad with the gun and just shooting them all, throwing a grenade at them. I've always enjoyed room clearance. It's just some of my favourite things to do with first-person shooter games. Yeah, it's really good. I was really surprised how much I enjoyed it. It does get a little tough near the end. It's typical of these cheaper games where they just ramp the difficulty for no reason at all at the end. And there's a bit of a airship which drove me crazy. And I couldn't do it. I just kept dying and dying and dying. Basically, you have to go across, you're underneath a bridge, and there's an airship on the right that will be Nazis that are shooting you. There's Nazis in front of you, and there's Nazis to the left on a bridge. And it's a pain in the arse to get through, and I couldn't work out what I was doing wrong. I just kept dying and dying and dying, and I thought, I don't understand this. So I watched the YouTube playthrough, and the guy had the same problem. And it wasn't just me that found it frustrating. But eventually I worked it out. You just take your time. You just have to pick them off one at a time. Eventually you can go up the gantry and jump onto the airship. But it was a nightmare. And it was a shame because up until that point, the game was really fun. I was just flying through the levels. I was killing Nazis left, right and centre. The graphics looked really nice. It was fun to play. I was really enjoying myself. And that bit just annoyed the hell out of me. But once I got past that, and you get inside the airship and that, it just goes back to normal. And overall, I thought it was a really good game. I was really surprised, actually. It's a much better game than you might think it is. And if you played the demo like me and thought it was trash, give the game a go, because the full game is much better than the demo. And if you've never played the game or played the demo and you're just interested, give it a try. I mean, and the artwork's excellent. But yeah, it's a really cool game. So cheers, Alex. Thanks for the recommendation, mate. I finally got there. It took a long time, though. Next is a game I've wanted to play for years. Never got around to buying it, weirdly, because I played the demo at a time. I used to play a lot of demos, and I absolutely loved this game. I thought the demo was fantastic, but I just never got around to picking it up. But I finally got it, and it is Split Second Velocity, which I believe in the States is just called Split Second, so I'm assuming there's a copyright issue as to why we got Velocity on our version. What a game. I haven't played tons of it. I've just played a little bit, and I've played a few tracks. I've done a few races and thoroughly enjoyed it so far, and the graphics look absolutely fantastic. It's aged really well. And it's sort of like Ridge Racer meets Burnout in a good way, unlike Ridge Racer where it rebounded, which was terrible. It's really, really good. You basically have to race your cars as usual. You drift to get your power up, and then you can set off explosions, and you can let towers come down and blow buildings up and smash up cars and anything to obstruct the track so that the other guys crash and then you get to the first place position. But you have to time it right, which is something I keep failing to do, because if you don't, you hit the button and it goes against you and you just drive straight into it. So done that a few times. But yeah, it's really, really fun. Really great racer. Really glad I actually picked it up finally after all this time. So I'm kind of just playing that as and when, because I've been playing through the story-driven games. So when I've got a bit of spare time, I jump in and play some split second. But yeah, quite impressed with it so far. Next up, we've got the game that I played recently and finished yesterday. Really had a lot of fun with this game, and that is Soldier of Fortune Payback. So straight up adult rated, 18 rated, first person shooter, not doing anything different to anything else, but it's like a PS2 era game with much nicer graphics. But it's okay, it's fine. Like Rogue Warrior, I say, sometimes you just need a game where you can just sit back and blow people away and not worry about the story or the characters or the in-depth game mechanics. It's great. I mean, it's a typical first-person shooter. You've got deserts, you've got streets, you've got villages and undergrowth. You've got a nightclub like in GoldenEye Reloaded. It's all there, and you get some big guns, some really loud explosions from the grenades, some great gun sound effects. It's really, really fun. And like other Soldier of Fortune games, the big USP for this is the violence, basically. You shoot people, their arms come off, their legs come off, you can blow their heads apart. It's brutal. But it's cartoon violence. If it was on PS4, PS5, it would probably be hard to watch. But on the PS3, it's just like a cartoon character. It's brilliant. And the funny thing was, I know I had a couple of moments where you shoot people, like you shoot the leg off or their arm off, and it sort of just wobbles like that. The game bugs out and it's just flipping back and forth. It looks really bizarre. And you also get the enemies, and all they tend to charge at you quite a lot, I found. So that scared the shit out of me, because they just come running at you, and I'm just like, panicking, and then the head explodes, and yeah, it's pretty gruesome. But it's really fun. There's some great level design, great areas to run through. Another one you just sit back, just chill, just kill everything. And it's a short game as well, which is good. Something I found was kind of frustrating was that the enemies tend to be bullet sponges as well, especially the bosses. There's a boss in a tank at one point. I killed all the soldiers. I was like, why is this boss not dying? And more soldiers kept coming in, and there was like a 50 cal, and I grabbed the 50 cal and I shot at this bloke, nothing happened, he wouldn't die. And I was like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. So I thought, well, okay, do a rocket launcher? No, there's no rocket launcher. Do I have to put C4 in the tank? No, I don't need to do that. What do I do? So I ended up going on YouTube, and it turns out you just shoot him. You just keep shooting him until you run out of ammunition, basically, and then he dies. Bit weird. So yeah, there was that, and then at the end of the game, there's two boss fights you have to do with two brothers. One's got a grenade launcher, and he's in a garage, and it's like a low-level car park thing, and it's all black, and the lights have gone out, and then you get like the red emergency light come on, and you can just about see him, and he just grenades the shit out of you and kills you. He's a pain in the arse. Took me ages to work out how to get him, but it's dead easy when you know how to do it. Because I was trying to shoot him, and I unloaded every magazine I had, from my assault rifle to my SMG to my pistol, and I ran out of ammo, and the door's locked. You can't get any more bullets. So I was like, well, what the hell do I do? And he just kept killing me. In the end, I figured it out. I mean, the easy way to do it is, obviously, I'm assuming you're supposed to just shoot the crap out of him, but it don't work. And you can position yourself so that he can't actually hit you as well, which is weird. But the solution I found, the fastest way to kill the boss, if you've not played the game yet, is to just walk up to him, and he can't shoot you. And all you do, just click R3 rapidly, and you just melee, and he just basically gets this knife and just keeps slitting his throat. And it takes a couple of seconds, and he's done. So that was quite handy. And then the second boss was in the nightclub. He's got a shotgun with a massive range, which seems to hit everything. Even when I was hiding behind the bar in the club, he was still shooting me in the face, which I was like, yeah, that hit detection's a bit off. But I was trying to shoot him, and again I ran out of ammo, and it just didn't work. And I thought, well, I'll just try the melee, see if it works. And it does. I just walked up to him, he couldn't move, I blocked him, and I just kept stabbing him in the throat, and he died. Brilliant. So yeah, it was dead easy, but it's a great game. Really, really fun game. Honestly, if you're just looking for some balls to the wall, stupid action, Soldier of Fortune Payback is an absolute must buy. Right, now the game I'm currently playing, which I played many hours of yesterday, and I absolutely love this game. This is brilliant. This was recommended to me by somebody in the comments. I think it was Mooch. Please let me know if it was you, mate. I don't know. I might be wrong there. If it wasn't, apologies to the person that did recommend it. But either way, I'm really enjoying this. And I picked this up recently from a retro shop, and it's called Legendary. And I understand that this is made by the same people that did Turning Point Fall of Liberty. They did a much better job with this one. It's got a lot tighter controls. The guns are more fun to use. The sound effects are really great on the guns. It's cracking. If you can see there's mythical monsters and beasts. And Lady Liberty's head's on the floor like Cloverfield. So the idea is it's a Pandora's box situation where it's opened and all of these creatures escape, and you get these massive, I don't know what the hell those eagle type things are, but they come swooping down and grab people and rip them apart and take them off. You get werewolves who you can only kill by blowing the heads off. You get little fairies, which are a pain in the ass because they keep stealing things. Like I was playing a level yesterday where there's an EMP machine, and you've got a Bioshock arm, and every time you kill creatures or soldiers, you can absorb the energy and use that energy. You can double tap triangle and it does a blast and it'll stun the enemies so you can shoot them. Or you can use it to boost the EMP machine to get it working. But of course, if you don't do it quick enough, those fairy things come down, grab the EMP and then fly off with it, and you have to chase them around to try and find it and then kill them. Pain in the arse. But yeah, it's great. I mean, as I say, you've got the little power in your arm, which is really cool. It's not like Bioshock, it's very basic. You just stun things or charge things up. But I've really, really enjoyed it. It's a really fun game. And one thing I thought was cool was that if you click the left stick, L3, it shows you where to go. You get a blue circle, so you never get stuck. You're never wandering around like a lot of old first-person shooters where you get stuck in an area and you just can't figure out where the door is. And in this one, you go in train stations and there's like grills on the floor that you have to crawl through. So it's nice to have that option to know where to go. The only criticism I've got so far is the difficulty level was a bit of a shit. I started on normal and I couldn't get anywhere. The first stage I couldn't get through it. I just kept getting my arse handed to me. So I had to drop it down to easy. And easy felt more like a normal should feel. So I feel like I've still got a reasonable level of challenge. It isn't like I'm just walking through killing everything. But it's not absolutely brutal and just kicking my ass. So that was good. And it was these critter things, they roll on the floor. They come out of a fiery pit of hell. They crawl across the floor, roll across the floor, sorry. And then fire these fireballs at you. They're a nightmare. So yeah, but it's really cool, really good variation of enemies. You do get soldiers as well. They look a bit like Judge Dredd, but like a low rent version. And they don't do much. They sort of wander around and aimlessly shoot at you. And some of them just stand still and don't shoot at all and get shot in the face. So that's a bit of a shame. But it's really fun. Really surprised actually. I remember playing the demo of it years back, didn't like it. I'm glad I picked it up. So if it was Mooch, thank you mate. If not, if you're the person that would recommend it, thank you. Because it really is an impressive first person shooter. And I love my FPS games, and to have one where it's got mythical beasts and something different from just shooting soldiers and robots, really cool. I'm really surprised how much I've enjoyed this game. I've just got to a part now. I've just been in the train station with an English bird and some soldiers. I've done all that. I'm now at an English manor, and it looks quite nice. I mean, the graphics themselves are really impressive actually, considering the age. It's sort of cartoony style to it as well, but it's really bright, really cool. It's got some really nice lighting effects in there. Yeah. Really impressed. I mean, the one thing that I will say is the sound design. Jesus Christ, you want to turn the master volume down straight away, it will deafen you. I've never heard a game so loud, like this really heavy rock music, and the animals are screeching and the guns are going off, and it's like, bloody hell. It's really intense, very cool there. So that's it, guys. Those are the 5 games I played recently. As you know, I like to play my games. I don't just buy them and stick them on a shelf and leave them there for a collection. I play my games as they come in, and PS3 is a great system to do that with, because most of the games can be anything like 6 to 8 hours. They're not going to take a long time to do. And, you know, if you have to adjust the level of difficulty, you have to adjust it. But there's always a way through. And with playthroughs on YouTube, you can't really get stuck. So, yeah, it's great to be able to buy these games I've never played before and get so much enjoyment out of them. I'd recommend all of these games to all you guys watching. If you've not played any of them, please check them out, because they're really fun. There might be games you might have even picked up and they're just sitting on the shelf. Go and give them a play. Okay guys, well thank you for watching the video. I look forward to reading your comments as always. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more PlayStation 3 content, just hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and YouTube will give you a heads up when my next video goes live. See you next time guys.